Well, good morning, everybody. It's Leanne with today's live video. I record these on Facebook and then upload them to my YouTube channel, so you can catch them either way. Let me get my laptop synced up here. Let me know you're watching and where you're from, especially if it's your first time here. Love to know that. Oh, it looks like we're just a little bit crooked. Let's see if I can fix that. Okay, all right. So lots to share, maybe not as much as usual, but some fun techniques. So if you're into techniques or different looks, I think you'll like the projects that I have to share with you today. So, like I said, let me know you're here, that you're watching. I don't see any comments yet. Just kind of waiting for people to log on. It's the middle of June, and Stampin' Up! Usually releases their specials the first Tuesday in June. So we've had a few weeks with the current specials happening. Just kind of waiting to see if somebody comments. I have an inventory status I can share while we're waiting. There's a lot here this time, a little bit more than last time. There you go. Hi, Melinda. Good. Hello from West Virginia. Awesome. So there's a few unknowns. That means they don't know when to expect some things in, but I kind of group them. Here's embellishments. I guess these could be labeled embellishments too. They're ephemeras. Stamp set, just one of those. Morning, Barb. And punch and dies are here, and folders. Well, I guess there's a punch here that should be up there. I usually just rework from last week's and change it for this week. I do want to mention, if you are in or near Minot, North Dakota, Bismarck or Grand Forks or Dickinson, Williston, it is well worth your time to come to our annual Stampin' Sale, right, Barb? I don't think you've ever been, but her daughter shops for her. They're on the phone together, and Joan is telling her what she has, what's available, and Barb's saying, yes, this, nope, not that, yes, this, and they take pictures, and it's so funny. So I'm glad she can do that for you, Barb. Okay, so do not miss this. It's incredible. Now, if you're a current customer of mine, you can shop the night before. That's an early bird shopping at 5:30. You have to be a current customer, though, that have ordered from me recently. So yeah, that is our huge deal. We're setting up Thursday and Friday, and the sale starts Friday night for early birds and Saturday for everybody else. And prices are just sad for me because a lot of it is Stampin' Up! And I know the value of it, but man, stamp sets that are just $1 or $2, punches that are 25 cents, some $2, it's just crazy. Embossing folders for quarters. Yeah, it's really crazy. So people just you have to bring cash. We're cash only on Saturday. So anyway, hopefully if you are in or near Minot, you will pop up, grab a friend, and come up to see the deals and take advantage of them. All right, so let's do door prizes. Last week, oh, I forgot to bring the cards over here. Hold on a second. These were the cards, the fun fold cards from last week's video. Oops, looks like that little gem came off of something, I think. I don't know what it came off of, but we will add it right there. So yeah, these are the fun fold cards. They're all different. That one's really kind of fun. I love the different ways you can show your designer paper. And this one too, a little latch just by adding some paper and gluing this fold down. So it's really fun to get these cards so you will have actual projects in hand. Even if you have a tutorial, sometimes just having them in hand. So anyway, the winner of these cards is Barb Myers. She's from North Dakota, and Donna Lathrop won a free tutorial from my shop. So yeah, hi Colleen, great. Hey Colleen, there's a big sale coming up if you're interested in some great deals. I know you're from Fargo, but this is an amazing stamping sale that things are just crazy prices. 25 cents to $1 on many items. So if you want to make a road trip, grab a friend. All right, so this is Barb won that, and so that's Barb Meyer's prize, and Donna Lathrop won a tutorial from my shop. So congratulations, gals. So glad that you commented and shared my video so you could get in on the door prizes. So this week, excuse me, I have some gems. These are current in colors, but the gems are retiring or retired. I don't know if they're gone yet. But these are the in color resin dots. So this is for somebody who comments on this video. You'll be in the drawing for that. Oh, I wish you could too, Bobette. It's such an amazing sale. When you lived here, did you ever come to it? Bobette used to live in Minot, and now she's down south. So yeah, that'd be great, Bobette, if you could come. Okay, comment to get in on this door prize, and share if you want to get in on a free tutorial from my shop. Okay, I do want to mention that the Extraordinary Washi Tape is back in stock. Now, this is one section of this washi tape, and then there is a die. There's actually a whole bundle. There's a die. So I adhered this to white paper, white cardstock. You can also adhere it to window sheets. So window sheets would make it clear, and people have been adhering the washi tape to like pastel cardstock, like lemon lolly or soft purple or blues or something, and then cutting it out. So then you can cut these out and you have many, many pieces to add to your cards or your projects. So it's super cool. No work for you, no cutting. There's also a stamp set that matches. It's an outline set that you could actually stamp over the washi tape. Now I would likely use StazOn for that, because this is a little bit of a slick surface, and I don't know if it would absorb into washi tape since it has kind of a sheen on it. So StazOn stays on everything. Memento Black is water-based and is absorbed in paper. So anyway, this is back available. So yeah, I hope if you've been waiting for that, you will get that. Lots and lots. I've used, I don't know how many panels of this have I used already. Probably about 8, maybe 10, and I still have a lot left. I think it's $15. So it's a great deal. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. We already went over I was going to show you one card I made. This one here, I just used, I guess, 4 pieces of the washi tape on there. There's a purple section, and then you get into the coral section, and then it's a purple and then a coral, so it alternates. I love that they gave us 2 different color families on our on this Extraordinary Washi Tape. So super simple, and that way when you do cut it out, you can pop them up if you want to on dimensionals and add a little dimension to your projects. I do want to mention, every year, it seems like every other year they change them, but this is our 6x6 designer paper. And this is the 2025-27 in colors. Originally, I thought they seemed really busy. I saw this pattern in the catalog, and I'm like, ooh, that's busy. But then yet look at the other side. Well, I guess that's the wrong, there we go. So you get stripes, and it's interesting how that worked out. Must have this on the other side. So you get stripes, and I'll get it right yet. I don't know how I mixed those up. And kind of a speckled, mottled, really soft designer paper. So really like these papers a lot. This one would go over there to have everything normal, I think. So yeah, this is available in all 6 of our color families. So just so you know, this is the in colors. You can get the subtles, the regals, the neutrals, and the brights, all in that same pattern. So I just wanted to show that because we don't always get to see that in person, right? Okay, I'm going to share a couple projects, and then I want to share our Fun Fold card swaps. Man, my team put everything into their Fun Fold cards this month. We had a use at least one in color, one new in color, and make it a fun fold card. That was our theme. And yeah, wait till you see them. And we have some new product that is sneak peeks in a few of them. So, so yeah, it's really cool. You're gonna love them. I am going to feature them on my blog in the next week or so. So I use on today's project paper tags, actually I only used the stamp set. I did not get the dies, which is weird of me because I usually get the dies to match, but I didn't. And then this is our, let's see, Irresistible Designs specialty paper. So this is white with clear embossed designs on it. Hopefully you can kind of see that sheen on some of the papers. So there is a leaf paper, there is a kind of a diagonal checked, striped, and then there is a floral. So you get 2 of each of these, and this can be seen in the annual catalog. This is by the designer paper section, okay? So we're gonna feature that, show you some techniques. Now, so I love the greetings. Look at that. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you. That could be anything. That could be a birthday, anniversary, graduation, you did it. And then look at this. Consider this a paper hug. I mean, that's awesome. Love that. And you get this fun little, I'll show you how I use that in a little bit. Happiness enclosed, to put that on the envelope. I love that. And yeah, just for you, that's one of my favorite greetings ever, because it's just for them. And you're very kind, and may your day be filled with sunshine and laughter. So I'm going to use a few of these on these projects. So here you can see, this is I don't know how I got ink on there, but this is Lemon Lolly with basic gray and smoky slate. And what I did was took that kind of gingham check, I don't know what you call this paper, and sponged with a blending brush, yellow down one end and smoky slate down the other end. And then I reversed them and I textured the inside strip with the glass and flower designer papers. So then this is just a Spotlight on Nature die, and I stamped this greeting again on Lemon Lolly and cut that out to pop it up. Give some dimension to the card. So we have Lemon Lolly, and this is, drawing a blank. Is it lavender? Can't remember the name of this paper. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so same smoky slate, basic gray, and the purple, and then stamped it again on the purple cardstock and fussy cut that Celebrate out. So here's what I did on the inside. Stamped that design. There's a die that goes with that, and then just used a marker and colored around it. Consider this a paper hug. So wonderful day to celebrate you, and then sending a hug. Yeah, Tina, it is really neat paper. So I'm going to show you. So this one I used the flowers, and this one was the check. So it just resists, and I don't even know if I wiped off with a tissue or not. I don't think I did, and you'll see on the project that I'm going to share in a little bit here that you don't almost need to. Okay, so we're going to use this. Now I shared a card, I think it was a swap card, a few months ago, and somebody wanted to know how the technique was done. And so this is one of the cards today that I'm going to share. And here is that greeting. You see the different colors behind it. So obviously you can probably see it's heat embossed. So I'm going to do that today in front of you, give you some tips, which I just realized I forgot. No, I have it. Okay. So yeah, this is the leaf designer paper, sponged, and then I cut it into strips to put on my black paper. So I'm going to try and do that. You know, it's kind of always a little bit of a will it work out question, but we will see how it goes today. All right, so I'll put the card there. I have all my pieces here. I started some things already just so it wouldn't take so long, because I have those swaps to share with you yet. So a lot of, oh, I didn't share the back of the card. So I stamped this in white craft ink on the black paper. And it's just kind of there. Now you could easily heat, yeah, Highland Heather. Thank you, Marla. Thank you, thank you. We used to have a lavender lace, but that was many years ago. Yeah, this color is Highland Heather. Why did that come so hard today? Anyway, you can stamp on dark cardstock with your white craft ink and let it dry. You do not have to heat emboss it. So I'm just saying. All right, so I started out, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, and I'm using Coastal Cabana Gorgeous Grape and Daffodil Delight. So I already sponged some blotches, I call them, with the other two colors, and now I'm going to finish with the lightest color. That's how I usually do it when I do this technique. Fill in the empty areas with the lightest color. You can go as dark as you want. And it doesn't matter. I usually still try and start off the paper so I'm not getting that blotch that you tend to get when you're blending. So just work your way onto paper. And whether you're doing this or tapping, I think rubbing is a little bit more effective to get a smoother surface when you are sponging. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to let that dry before I move on to the technique. Yeah, I'm going to do the next technique first before we move on, and that is the Irresistible Designs paper. So we're going to we'll just continue with the yellow while I let this dry, because I'm going to heat emboss this. I want that ink to be fairly dry. Okay, we're going to start off in the corner, and I did part of it already because it can take a while to get this to a dark enough consistency. And you can see how the white leaves just kind of appear. I did not brush the ink off of that at all. I probably should, and you can use a tissue or a paper towel to do that. But I think the brush kind of does that as you go. Okay, that's good with the yellow. I'm going to close that up and get into the purple. I tried to keep, the same colors in the tag as on the background. Okay, purple. This is Gorgeous Grape, and the reason I chose a darker color rather than the Highland Heather is because, hi Joan, good morning. Let's see, I'm going to move this over because you don't usually want to blend another color in. So I don't want to have yellow on the bottom while I'm blending this. So just move it around in circles. Less at a time works better than, I'm getting some kind of must have something that is uneven on my brush. So inking, so every so often, and then using a really light hand. I usually tell people to not have any pressure, and then you won't get those marks like that. Sometimes when I rush, I tend to get the marks. Now I'm trying not to blend into the green or the Coastal Cabana too much because, oops, got a little bit of a mark there. It just happens. So this piece, you can see, because I cut these lines in between there, I couldn't use a full 5 1/4. Normally a layer on a full A2 card will be 4 inches wide by 5 1/4. I actually trimmed off 1/4 inch, and I may have to trim off more. And I'll explain that as I'm trimming this, how that works, how I did this. I think I'm going to quit on that. And we'll start trimming. We will move some of these pieces out of the way and start trimming. So, get this out of there. And get my paper trimmer. So what I did was I'm trying to just keep the angle with my sponging. So I want this, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It'll all work out. I'll probably go about like this. Okay. Then I want to have a little bit, I'm going to catch that corner And I'm looking at this line to make sure it's even. That will help when I put this card back together. Okay, and I want these to be different widths. So now I'm going to go a little bit wider. I'm going to go in between these two lines. We'll see how this all works out. And here, you can see I'm kind of matching up these grid lines on my paper trimmer. And we'll see how that works out. Okay, now get the front of the card and use my bone folder to, I don't like to work on card folds that are flapping, so I usually use my bone folder to start with. Okay, so that's the bottom of the card. There's the top. Now I'm going to just lay these out and see how they fit. You can always do a little trimming. I don't know why that seems like it's not matching up well, but it's okay. It's a handmade card. It does not have to be perfect. And I can always trim my card base as well. Okay, looking okay. Now we have another corner. I think it's so pretty. And another corner. So see, now this is not working out, so I'm going to trim this just a little bit with my paper trimmer. So just take, I don't know, not even an 1/8 of an inch off. You can always take more, but you can't put it back. So let's see how that looks. And this is what happened to me with the other card as well. Yep, I think that's going to be just fine. So what do you think? Isn't that kind of a neat technique? Now this layer started off as 5 and probably about 5 inches long. It should have been, if it was a full piece, it should have been 5 1/4. So now I'm just going to take them off one at a time. And you could do this with your designer paper. It doesn't have to be something you created like I just did. It could, that just does not want to work out on this piece, does it? I wonder why. Just a little more discrepancy in the upper corner here. Kind of crazy. I could trim some of that off. In fact, let's try it. When you're releasing with a seal or a tape runner, do it slowly and you can usually get it done. Let's just see if I take off some of this. I'm going to do it a little unevenly. And yes, I have some tape runner on my piece, but hopefully it'll come off all the way. Okay, let's try that again and see what happens. I can see my cut was not very clean because I took off so little. Actually, that did work out better, didn't it? Oh, it looks like I need a little bit of adhesive on that corner. Oh, don't tell me. I did not check this to see if it was going to run today. It's so new too. Oh well. We will use, I am cursed with adhesive. Okay, keep going. But yeah, you can make it work just by doing a little trim work every now and then to finish it. And I can see that this is needing a little adhesive as well. Okay, so quite an easy technique, but it's really striking with these sponge colors, I think. And then black is always a favorite of mine because it just makes colors pop. A little bit of black on your card can make such a difference. There, not bad, huh? Not too hard, I don't think. Okay, so now we are going to make this tag. All right, so I did sponge my white cardstock with 3 colors. And now I'm going to heat emboss. But first, we need to stamp. So I have, this is my method of heat embossing. I have my black embossing powder. I have a piece of typing paper that I folded in half, and you'll see why in just a minute. All right, let's grab. First of all, most important part of embossing, absolutely most important is to use the embossing buddy. Now, currently, the only way to get an embossing buddy from Stampin' Up! Is to get the embossing kit. But that does include that really cool reverse tweezer, a little embossing tray. Now, what I like to do when I use this is I tap, and you can see the powder coming off. You need a lot of powder. Then what I do is I swipe. That means I don't have loose powder all over my paper, because you want your Versamark to stick to the cardstock and go through that powder. So what the powder is good for, what the embossing buddy is good for, and this is just Versamark, very, very old and worn. I should probably invest in a new one. But when I do so many classes, inevitably it gets stained or ink on it or whatever, so I just keep using the same one. All right, you can see there's a little bit of excess powder there. I'm just gonna tap that off and stamp this. And you have to have your embossing elements. You can see how much powder I used by what's on my fingers. Okay, so stamp your Versamark image. This technique works very well with a solid image with just a little bit of peekaboo method to it. So lots of embossing powder, and then I kind of pick it up and wiggle it around so it gets all those areas. Okay, and your fingers. So what I usually do is tap, not too hard. I got a little bit of extra, and then before you emboss, you want to get any extra on your image. Like if I had, well, I'm going to cut that out anyway, but it looks really good to me. So now there's no hurry to heat that yet, but right away I like to get rid of embossing powder, and I tend not to have my Versamark ink anywhere near my embossing powder. I usually keep them separate, but I put that little folded paper and then I just kind of wiggle it right back in. Now you can obviously use a tray, but I just like the ease of paper. I can see I had a little bit of excess paper, embossing going on. Okay, so my next tip when I emboss, now this is another thing you'll see as old as the hills. It's probably 15 years old. Simple clipboard that I taped aluminum foil onto. And so what I can do now, because embossing guns are very hot, so I don't like to hold it. And if you lay it on your project area, your table, it flies away. So got an extension cord. So I hold my gun, as you can see, an inch away, and it takes a while for it to heat up, maybe 20 seconds. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera and hope that you can see it start to change. So if you do it as close as I'm doing, sorry if it's too loud, you need to watch carefully and move it quickly as it heats, because if you overheat it, it will get bubbly. So can you see what's heated here and what's not? You see the top area above the word May is dull and not shiny. So you just need to watch very close. What I tell people is to hold it at an angle where you can see it change. And that is the success, besides the embossing powder, or embossing buddy that you have to put on first. The next most important thing is to, first of all, get any stray powder away, especially black. It's so hard to cover up, black is. So you can see it's all beautiful and shiny. And so this just saves my fingers, and sometimes I will have 3 or 4 images at a time and just keep heat embossing them. So then, and I don't know if I'm going to do all of this, but I used a paper trimmer, but I'm going to just use my scissors for now because they're nice straight edges. Do a little, and again, there is a die for this. I just didn't own it, and so I decided to just trim it as I could, and I'm kind of rushing a little bit. I could have stamped this right on the edge or got the dies because they are really cute. And I even cut out the inside, but I'm not going to do that right now just for speed's sake. So there is our tag. What I did then was add a skinny piece above and below it and cut a notch just to add another little layer. So I don't want this too long, so I'm gonna cut most of this off. Didn't quite get all that. There we go. Okay, so just gonna adhere that. And I want a little bit at the top just for an extra color, an extra layer, and just another banner. So you can see out here I use yellow, and then I even put a little, when I fussy cut this out of the heart, I slipped that underneath, and I may still do that. We'll see. And then I just tied a bow with the iridescent ribbon. So when you tie your bow, I do 2 loops or bunny ears, and I have 2 bunny ears and a face. Put 1 loop into the face and pull, and you have something terrible. And then you pinch and start pulling the ends. So pinch, pull the ends until you're happy with your bow. Well, it takes practice, honestly. You just have to practice to get good at bows. People who have worked in like floral shops or whatever, they get very good at bows. So that's all I'm gonna do is use a mini glue dot on here. So you learn 2 techniques, sponging on iridescent paper, and this is, I believe this is called the Black Magic. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Black Magic technique. So just kind of arrange those tails like you like them. And more adhesive. And I don't know why, I think, what do you think, straight or angled? Should I do one straight? Yeah, I'm gonna try one straight, and then I'll ask for opinions. Now, I did use iridescent gems on this one. However, I saw these, what are these called? Starburst sequins, and I thought, oh, they match almost all the colors except for the Coastal Cabana. So I'm gonna try that. Just do, it's always hard to decide where to put these things, right? Do one over here. I might do a few just to have a little fun. Okay, there we go. The Starburst sequins are something new. I believe they're in our online store. So yeah, which one do you like? The angled or the straight? Now in the inside, I'm not going to go over that, but I did stamp this image and then I colored it in with Blends markers. So I like the pop-up idea a little bit better, but it's still a fun way to differentiate the Celebrate. I mean, you could go over because these letters are kind of double printed, so you could easily add a little bit of marker to each of those letters to be a little fun. So that's how the inside will be when I do it, and then Blends markers. Okay, all right, so there are the projects today that you can see, and I'll get into our swaps next. Oh, wait till you see them. There's some doozies, really nice doozies. Okay, so the angle, yeah, I think I tend to agree with you, but you know, everybody has an opinion, so. All right, so let's move on to the swap cards. Okay, so this is the swap card made by Candace. She is in Idaho, and she used the corrugated midi embossing folder and the remarkable something. I can't remember the name of that stamp set, and I love it too. So beautiful card. It's Candace's. Then we have, so what I guess what this is these 2 layers. I'll probably share one like this. I would call this a double box card. These 2 layers are just the rest of the card scored. So you're not adding any extra cardstock for this part. It's just scored at a certain length. I'm going to be sharing all the measurements for most of these fun folds this week on my blog. Well, probably Thursday, Friday, and some of next week. So this one was made by Jackie, and I haven't made one of these cards for a long time. They're pretty cool. So you do have to double over. So half of this card is 11, and then you have to add an extra piece to overlap to get it that long and for it to go back into that double triangle. Super cool card. So yeah, wait till you see these. Okay, this one was done by Kathy, and she used the sweet jar, and I think this is a die from the Paper Pumpkin extra die kit. So remember, we had to use a new in color. So Strawberry Slush, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Cloud Cover. Okay, and then we have this one made by Joan, and she did a little double flap card. Very cool. I don't remember the name of this stamp set. She told me it's one of our online exclusives. Strawberry Slush and some blues and greens. I'm not sure which green, probably Granny Apple. And this is the boho, no. I forget what the name of this designer paper was. It's in the online store right now. Okay, now wait till you see this one. This one was done by Lori, and this is to be tied on the side, and you'll see why. I think she got the idea from Lisa. But look at that. I think it's called a double tunnel card, something like that. Lots of connecting papers. So you have to, your 11-inch or 12-inch ends here. Then you have to add this area. And then this piece has at least one connector. But look at the dies, that she used on these. I can't remember, is it the Good Vibes bundle? But yeah, now her arches, I could see that she used one of the white arches on the front, and then one when she cut out of the arch of the designer paper, she used that behind it. I like the double layer of the arch like that. Super cool. Isn't that an amazing card? Yeah, I know. She went way over the top. Put most of us to shame with that one. She made 16 of these. Amazing. There were only 12 in our swap. She always makes extras. So that's that one. Now this is one made by Kim, and this is brand new product. Look at that embossing folder and the die and the flowers, the saying. This is a new bundle, suite actually, coming out in September in the holiday catalog. And that die is too. Now what's interesting is you would think that this would be designer paper, and there actually is designer paper similar to this in the set of designer paper, but she just took a big piece of white cardstock and took her blending brush and Secret Sea ink and blended all over that big 8.5 by 11, and then she stamped or cut out and stamped on those die cuts. So I thought that was super smart. But isn't that a gorgeous embossing folder? It fits the dies they're meant to be together. So that's that one. Here we have Marla's, and she did a fun fold in the inside, an explosion card. So that's using one of the new papers in the annual catalog. So that's that card. Next we have one by Candy, and she used Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. I'm gonna run out of room here. Okay, this one is done by Sharon, and she's in Vegas, well, Nevada. And she stamped with the celebratory sips. Well, these are probably fussy cut from the designer paper, but you can see how shiny they are. She used the fine tip glue, which is on low inventory. It's back. It was out of stock, but it's back. And you just put 2 coats, let it dry in between, and they get to be that shiny. They do kind of get a little bit wavy because of the amount of glue, but super cool technique. And she even did that on her inside glass that she fussy cut from the paper. But this is another box type card, and this is simply the front of the card scored 3 times. So I will share the measurements. Lucky I have them. And I like how this covers up your inside. When you have it flat, I don't like, either I like an outer layer that you can see a layer or for it to hide. So that's her card. And next is Ginny's, and she used the beautiful gallery suite and that designer paper. So this is 6 inches wide, 5 1/4, and then you simply cut it at 4 and at 2. So you use the whole, almost the whole sheet except for 3/4 of an inch. I love that fold for this pretty designer paper. And this is Paula's. She did a, oh, what did she call it? She told me the name of this. This card, but she used the circle dies and a swirly embossing folder and strawberry slush with, I think this is the same paper as this one. I can't recall, one of the floral papers. And then last but not least, I used a new stamp set that's coming out in July for customers. This is an online stamp set, and it has dies to match, and I used new paper as well. So this is my fun fold. This is new paper. I colored the leaves in with a blending brush and ink, blender pen and ink, and the flower I stamped on some of the designer paper and fussy cut and added to this image. So you can see that image right there. I stamped it, die cut it, colored, and then stamped the flower onto extra designer paper and fussy cut it. So, and there's the back. I used a leaf die from, I forget which bundle. But those are our 12 swap cards. They're using a new in color. Here I used Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, I don't know if I said that. Lots of Strawberry Slush, that seems to be a favorite, and some Secret Sea. So I'm the odd girl out here with a little bit of Timid Tiger with Mossy Meadow. So those are fun fold cards. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing those. If you're not following me on my blog at flowerbug.net, that's where the measurements for these will be. I don't think I'll be sharing measurements for this one because it's just too crazy. But the rest I will. This one you can see at Lisa Studio. I don't know, I think it's something like a tunnel card. But the rest I will be sharing measurements and names of stamp sets that I can't recall at the moment. So do not forget, there's a couple specials happening right now. You can go to shopwithleanne.com and look at all the sweet sale BOGO items. There's over 140 that you can get at half price. So buy one regular price, get one half off. And then the last chance, there's tons of last chance items. This is 1/2 of the last chance. Here's the other half of the last chance. So a lot of them are marked up to 60% off. So it's really some great deals. So don't forget to shop. And remember, if you shop with me and your order's over 50 online, you get some free card kits. The more you order, the more kits you'll get. All right, I think that's it for today. Thanks so much. And if you are local to me in North Dakota, please come to our sale. It's incredible. Ooh, I have a little frog in my throat. Grab a friend, make a car trip, and stop up on Saturday. All right, thanks so much, everybody. Excuse me. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.